Tipperary left a vacancy in their half-forward line in the hope that hamstring victim John Lahey would be able to play. However, as it happens, young Tommy Dunn gets the call-up, and he's wearing number 21 this afternoon. It's a Tipperary side which has denied the talents of Colin Bonner, Bobby Ryan and John Kennedy. So the half-back line today consists of Rémi Ryan, Michael O'Mara and Conal Bonner, while Declan Carr's partner in midfield is Conor Stakelum. The Cork selectors had opted for 2 changes in personnel for this tie, but in the event there's only one switch from the team that beat down. That's because Paul O'Callaghan is still suffering the after effects of a recent motoring accident. So Pat Buckley remains at left half forward, and he was wearing number 20, while Cathal Casey returns to midfield alongside Shawnee McCarthy. There's another change of position this week for Cork's Brian Corcoran. He moves to left corner back to renew acquaintances with Pat Fox, having played centre half back for the county's under-21 footballers on Thursday night. Pat Fox will recount with anything but fond memories his first experience of being marked by Corcoran in last year's Munster semi-final when he was held scoreless. Pat Delaney from Laois, poised and ready to start this all-Munster National League semi-final. Nicky English in the action straight away as Tip, unbeaten in their last 6 matches, play with the breeze at this stage, in towards Pat Fox, beaten for it by Brian Corcoran. First ball that's come in between Fox and Corcoran. Out towards Shawnee McCarthy, beaten by Declan Carr, looking for a scoring chance, sending it in towards Cormac Bonner. Again, it's Corcoran held as he was playing that ball out. And that's going to be a free out to Cork. But already Brian Corcoran stamping his personal authority on this match. Best young hurler in the country, it seems, in the early seconds of this game. Towards Shawnee McCarthy, again Declan Carr closing down tight on him. Cathal Casey prodding it forward. Cork with the elements at their backs in the opening 30 minutes. That's well knocked away by Paul Delaney. Tidy hurler, but not too far away. Manley, and the first point of the game for Ger Manley, formerly of Inniscarra, now playing with Middleton. Cork going in front. So far it's Cork settling down well in the half-back line and in midfield. Dennis Walsh expected to give his usual steady performance this afternoon. Bemused look on the face there of Declan Carr. Quite agreeing with the decision of Pat Delaney. So that's the angle that confronts him. This about 67 metres out. Huge one inside, well blocked, knocked away. Conal Bonner taking it out of that ruck of players. Pursued there by Kevin Hennessy and also by Teddy McCarthy. And the Corkmen doing well, grouping and closing down the space that was open there to Conal Bonner. Cathal Casey, sideline ball expert normally, and that one's put over the bar. A very fine cut indeed by Cathal Casey, and Cork with another score. Just as the rain begins to teem down here, some ominous clouds overhead for the last couple of minutes. Cleary dropping it in towards Nicky English, sails over his head. Timmy Kelleher going back there. Tomas Mulcahy making the catch, fouled by Michael O'Mara. Big occasion this for the Toomevara lad, one of the stars of last year's county final here in Tipperary. Ten minutes gone in the first half. Story of rain and more rain so far. Just 2 points for Cork, nothing for Tipperary, as that's tapped over the bar by Barry Egan. Taking over the free-taking duties this season from the now retired Tony O'Sullivan. Well, whatever wind was about earlier on has died down quite considerably because of the strength of the rain and so on. So it's hardly a telling factor in this match at this stage. Beautifully cut up. Declan Carr drilling it down towards Nicky English, beaten by Considine, comes back against some holding there, however. And the holding is by Pat Hartnett against Declan Ryan. And Pat Delaney indicating the Tipperary free. Conor Stakelum. This looks good. It's Tipperary's first point. It comes from a free in the 14th minute of the first half, and that will give Tip a little bit of heart. So 3 points to 1, Cork leading as Tom Kingston takes the puck out, getting great distance into it, down towards Tomas Mulcahy, beating O'Mara to it again. Outside it goes towards Ger Manley. Michael Ryan there winning and then losing the duel to Manley. Back to Cathal Casey. Nice approach play, and it's put over the bar by Casey, his second point. But all of that just after Michael Ryan seemed to have got the better of his duel with Ger Manley, but Manley held his composure. That's an excellent point. Hit over brilliantly by Cathal Casey. So a 3-point gap in the scores as Declan Carr adds to it in the air to Pat Fox. Good direct play by Tipperary. Still trailing, however. Tommy Dunn here, just 19 years of age, leaves it behind. And it's Cathal Casey who nips into the breach. It's won back by Declan Carr. Up the stick of Pat Fox for Brian Corcoran to pick up the pieces. Now Timmy Kelleher, his clubmate at Aaron's own. Runs off towards Pat Fox, takes the shoulder with some comfort. And a nice shot by Fox, and he's put it over the bar. Well, he failed to score in the Munster semi-final against Brian Corcoran, but my goodness me, a minute after that point by Conor Stakelum, he's cut the gap. Just 2 points between the teams. Again dropping into the Cork half-forward line, added to there by Shawnee McCarthy, Kevin Hennessy, Ger Manley trying to take it wide across the 20-metre line, runs up towards Pat Buckley, unmarked momentarily, kept slow to close him down, gets in his shot and he's put it to the left and he's put it wide, but there's a dispute there. The Cork forwards certainly felt that it had dissected the post, but disappointment for Pat Buckley. Well, debatable points that were points or weren't points have been a subject of many a Cork tip match. This, the latest one, seemed to have gone fairly well over, but you'll notice that Noel Sheehy was there indicating that it had gone wide. Batted down there by Pat Hartnett. Declan Carr has been picking up a lot of good ball at midfield for Tipperary, setting up some chances. Michael Cleary, first chance to get a point, and it sails over Tom Kingston's crossbar. That's a nice point by the player who plays his club hurling for Éire Óg Nina. So the gap closes once again to a mere 2 points, 5 points to 3. As we watch again, Declan Carr, the player who picked up the loose ball at midfield, spotted Cleary, got there first, fast, deliberate hurling, and a nice score. Again it drops down between centre forward and centre back, runs on to Teddy McCarthy, was expecting it to come his way. On towards Pat Buckley, holds it. Trying to stand his ground, having to release it now back to Teddy McCarthy. Going by Conor Bonner, trying to swing his stick. It's Teddy who made good headway. Tight angle and a good point for Teddy McCarthy. Well, he did all of that himself. He was anticipating that there might be a break of the ball when Tomas Mulcahy was challenging the centre-half back Michael O'Mara. And in the end, after all the spade work, it's Cork 6, Tip 5. Pat Buckley fed it back to him, and then he had to go around the defence, taking it by Paul Delaney. Conor Bonner trying to deny him possession, and a very good score. Cathal Casey, who's scored 3 points so far for Cork. Timmy Kelleher, unable to take it up onto the stick. Michael Cleary has it. Kelleher finding Cleary a handful in this game. And that's run back there. And it's Cormac Bonner. It's a goal! Tipperary are in front for the first time in the match. A real pile-up there. And O'Gorman and Corcoran will stand indicted for not clearing their lines. Cormac Bonner was patient, and the goal comes with 2.5 minutes to go to half-time. Cormac Bonner profiting from this inviting ball inside. Timmy Kelleher hadn't cleared it away from Cleary, and watch as O'Gorman and Corcoran had the chances to make the clearance, but they were unable to do so. Cormac Bonner lashed it past Kingston. Tip in front for the first time. The closing minutes of this first half. Teddy McCarthy again trying to show some trickery. Barry Egan trying to make some headway. Denied by Rémi Ryan, crossing his own 45-metre line. Down to Fox. Runs by Corkin as well. Coming back to try and make possession his, and the great clearance. Long ball towards Teddy McCarthy. Bounces away from his fingers. Down to Shawnee McCarthy. Stopped by O'Mara. The game has lifted up a notch or two in tempo since that goal. It's much more a fiery contest now, what you'd expect between Cork and Tipperary. Conal Bonner sweeping across. Cleary shining in this match as you'd expect. Down by Fox to English, couldn't hold it. O'Gorman trying to dispossess him. It's English trying to embellish a good position for Tipperary, but he's put it wide. Tipperary lifting their game following that goal by Cormac Bonner. Tip with 4 wides, Cork with 3. O'Mara, good catch. He's gaining in confidence. Carr turning round 180 degrees, then knocking it down towards English, between English and Considine, the goal scorer. That's knocked away by Sean O'Gorman. Conal Bonner pressurised by Teddy McCarthy, and possession surrendered to Shawnee McCarthy. Towards Tomas Mulcahy and Michael O'Mara. Stalemate between that duo. Now Buckley nipping away from Paul Delaney. Still Buckley, and the point follows. Buckley with the score, closing the gap, a point between them. Referee checking the watch in injury time, and the referee now calling for the ball. A match which started in a fairly lackluster fashion. There was a lot of rain, but then the sun came down and shone for Cormac Bonner, profiting by a Cork lapse in defence after 27.5 minutes. The goal that separates the teams at half-time. Half-time score, Tipperary 1-5, Cork 7 points. Shot of Timmy Kelleher, knocked in invitingly, and Fox run on to. Well, it was a real good shot. Certainly Pat Fox is carving out some good chances himself. Didn't get the authority of the shot that time. A nice turn here by Buckley. Buckley had a chance to Cork a point ahead, and he's put it wide. Well, at the other end, there was a very good goal-scoring opportunity for Tipperary. And Pat Fox, maybe a season or two back, would probably have slammed that into the back of Cork's head. Timmy Kelleher losing out to Dylan Ryan. Kelleher regained possession. Early stage in the second half. Kelleher trying to link up Teddy McCarthy, so his pass short. Michael Berry has his shot locked down. Berry again. Trying to get the ball out. Here he's been very deep just now, watching as Scott Casey comes through. Stopped there by Conal Bonner. Youngest of the Bonners, upwards Cormac. The good score, big for Sean O'Gorman. Towards Barry Egan, offering it left half forward. Then Raimi Ryan, 6-5 metres out. Nice look up to spot Shawnee McCarthy on the run, and Sean is drilled defiantly over the crossbar. Shawnee McCarthy now point to this match, Cork going ahead. So the two Cork midfield players have scored 4 points between them. There was Barry Egan playing the pass outside. What a good run here by Sean McCarthy. Nobody had picked him up. Conor Declan was slow to close it down, and the umpire lifting white flag. Timmy Kelleher trying to knock that ball out of me as far as Declan Carr to Nicky English. Nicky English looking for his first point of the day, and it's caught in the 3rd minute of the second half. Just getting loose, he also came away from his left corner forward position, got a bit of attitude, that was just enough. This was the point. English carving out the opportunity for himself, a good 30 metres out, and that's a very fine point. Declan Ryan, pressing it away from Tim Kelleher, missed by Michael Cleary. Picked again by English, who's coming deeper and deeper from his court forward position, wants to get more and more into this game. Cork 9 points, Tipperary 1-6. Two of the Tipperary electors there in the background as Declan Carr whips it in beautifully, missed by Brian Corcoran. Sean O'Gorman there once again to rescue Cork. Barry Egan pressurised by Raimi Ryan every step of the way. Still Ryan, and kick now in clear is Raimi Ryan himself kicking, and he's put over the crossbar.
That's a great point for Randy Ryan. The very persistent giving up. The Tipperary bags are flying violently. Tip ahead by a point. Remy Ryan had putted this away from the Cork man, and outside the 20-metre line he made good headway with a good score. Well, they'll be looking at him on the Tipperary football team, I'm sure. Point between the teams, Tip ahead. Michael O'Mara getting out as far as Tommy Dunn. Sarah Minor and under 21 level. Conor Dakelum drilling it. Oh, it's a great score by Conor Dakelum. A third point, first from play. Well, he knew what he was about. Right in the middle of the field when he claimed that one. And an excellent point. 2 points the margin. This well looking again. Tommy Dunn having the vision to notice that Dakelum unmarked come up from midfield. And that's as good a point as you can hope to see. Dakelum again having a very good season. Amy Ryan gaining confidence to Mike Cleary. Dispossessed by Timmy Kelleher. Melting away. Foul. Not a fair shoulder to shoulder. Shoulder into the front of Timmy Kelleher by Declan Carr. Spoken there by Pat Laney. Pat, of course, who refereed the 1989 All-Ireland final with Tipperary beat Handrum. An ambitious one. Into the beat in towards Kevin Henny. For a chance to shine his match back towards the Mossman. Guy stopped by Ken Hogan. Pile up inside. But the referee has blown his whistle. I think they're playing away. I thought the referee whistle is down there and really all hell breaking loose. Some frustration as well. Well, it often happens when the ball is in there. But really players using to run themselves. Disgraceful scene now. Players being involved in fracas such as this. In the league semi-final, shameful scene at Semple Stadium. All that after the referee, I think, had blown the whistle for a foul. Ken Hogan. If the first time that Kevin Hennessy had got the flint to his hands, Hogan made the save. The forwards were in on mass, fouling him. They didn't hear the whistle, and as so often happens, players are in there to defend the goalkeeper. This is the replay one again. The referee is coming up to take name, Teddy McCarthy. Well, Teddy did get involved at a late stage, no doubt about that, but he wasn't the one who started it. Kevin Hennessy and Paul Shee, again, getting familiar, as they say. All this while, Teddy being spoken to and lectured by Pat Delaney, who had a thankless task of trying to decide who the instigators were. And it's also going to be Declan Carr who's going to have the name taken. So there from each team booked. And that appeared to be the sum tally of the referee's deliberations with his umpires and linesmen. Really a shameful 2 seconds there. And not the type of play you normally associate with Cork and Tipperary hurlers. Normally most disciplined. And Hogan with the freshening wind sporting Tipperary the second 30 minutes. Shane McCarthy was in there, not asking questions. Barry Egan likewise. That was Pat Buckley. But feed it up to Manley. Very tight throw by their Manley. Little cellar on the touch. The goal! Manley has goal, of course, to go back in front. A point between the teams. Delighted throw fans. Jim Manley with a goal in the void to his credit. That was a lovely solo burst forward there by Jim Manley. Took it round the back. And how about that for finish? Superb goal. Colin Bonner is on. Remy Ryan is off. A switch and a change of the Tipperary half-back line. Cork a point, 1-9 to 1-8. Conor Stakel, the free kicker. Dropped his bend towards Viking. He's got it. Cormac Bonner to make some headway. Oh, he's closed down briefly by the Cork back to allow him an opportunity to swing a stick or even to get the hand pad in. Sean O'Gorman right on his end and bottled up. Takes back Michael Cleary. Can't pick it up the first time. Outside it comes Declan Ryan across to Tommy Dunn. That's a lovely point. Tommy Dunn with his first score. Outside level once again. But in league meeting between these great counties, it's 18-16 in Cork's favour today with only 2 draws. But they're level right now. Sympathetic applause in the background for Remy Ryan, one of the stars in the Tipperary team today, now forced out with a hand injury. Bonner. Once again, a pile-up, broken up by Mossman. He boxed splendidly by Conor Bonner. Hurley's breaking, the Hurley there of Barry Egan. Kevin Hissing in, fouled. Free Cork. Well, the very subdued first half. In truth, the ball didn't really come in between himself and Noel Shea all that often. And the unfortunate Ramey Ryan, arm bandage, off to get medical attention out of the team. So it's Barry Egan, 2 points to his credit so far. This opportunity to put Cork ahead and just squeezes inside the right hand post. There wasn't too much margin for error there. But 3 points for Barry Egan, a player who got 10 points against down in Croke Park in the quarter-finals. And here comes Joe Hayes, an opportunity to come back into the Tipperary team and do something with a championship just around the corner. Not to mention the fact that Tip would very much like to get into the National League final in a fortnight's time. He's in Declan Carr. He did some good work early on in this match, seemed to fade out of things for the second half. One there by Cathal Casey, playing brilliantly however by Noel Shea, to be one of the best full-back in the country. English making the great cap of foul, and Timmy Gallagher rather, is not exactly flavour of the month. Wild pull, the referee quickly isolating him. Sean McCartney wanted to do something about it, wanted to please. Once again, feeding in there and wanting to cool matters down. The referee says the best way to do that is to leave it to players and to the officials. Sean McCarthy, the blood spilling on the nose there from a wound. From time to time, this match has been a boiling point, and all talk about teams not taking the National League semi-final as seriously as they would take the championship. Timmy Gallagher would seem to have gone off. Jim Cashman would seem to be on. That looked a very nasty gash there on the head of Nicky Ings, clearly taken out of it by Timmy Kelleher. Conor Stakelum has put it over the bar. So Conor Stakelum with another point, 5 in all for him. Soft level at 1-10 piece. Nicky English far into that, and Timmy Kelleher has been sent off with that blow. And straight away the Cork selectors make a change, taking off Dennis Walsh, bringing on Jim Campbell. So it's 110 to 110. That's one nice to there by Michael O'Mara for 15 man Tipperary. Sean O'Rourke going out of no man's hand. Jim Campbell trying to come to his assistance in this very tempestuous second half. This is Nicky English. English near sideline, Misty Abbas, Nick Ryan on the end of it. Ryan still trying to make some headway, he's put over the bar. Tipped out Vincent, Dublin run the scorer. And all of the tip forwards have scored in this match. How they'd like to get back into the National League final and make amends last year. Joe Hayes missing it. Ryan was pushing quickly. Conor Stakelum kicking into space. Van Corbin going back there, reading the intentions. Have to turn around now. On solo run here against Nicky English. One again by English. What a good second half he's had. To Michael Deary on the 4-5 line. That's a bit better, and it sailed on the bar. Michael Deary's third point of the match at a critical time to put 2 between them. On my watch, about 4 minutes remaining, not including injury time and gas time. Kings the puck out of the wind over the head of Teddy McCarthy. On it goes Casey's played a steady match, well shining at any stage of the field. The stadium has been quite outstanding. On towards Tommy Dunn. There against Jim Cashman. That's Hartnett operating at the corner back. His second half against Pat Fox. Michael O'Mara winning it. Still sounded, and they're going to be free to Cork. Just inside the 45-metre line. So Barry Egan, his side trailing by 2 points. And he tapped over. So another point for Barry Egan, the bare minimum between the teams. And just over 2 minutes to go. Plus what the referee may decide to add on. Michael Rock. Well,
King down there will be quite pleased with the way that his side has come back from that German goal. Held their heads by and large. He has great belief in his team, as indeed has Canon Michael O'Brien. Slip over there by Shelley McCarthy, one back by Sheehy. All this while Michael O'Mara's lying on ground injured. As it plays forward to Tony Dunn. On against John Considine. It's sludge goal. And that can find for Tommy Dunn. Well, that's the way to show the Tipperary selectors that you're good enough to be in their starting 15. And the very familiar figure there of Bobby Ryan. On Soleil coming in place of Michael O'Mara, the injured player. So Bobby, I'm sure, will go at centre half back. The remaining minutes, he played a very good match, Michael O'Mara, the team captain from Tulivara. The game is just now ticking to injury time. And Joe Hayes said we've had a few injuries all right. Joe under the dropping ball, beaten forth by Sean McCarthy's persistence. Inside towards Buckley, turning nicely there on Paul Delaney. Shoulder by Ryan, still Buckley. 13 to 111. He's missed it. That would have carried it to the bare minimum. There's still 2 points between them, and Tip are still the leaders. Is it to be Tip against Wexford in this year's National Hurling League final? Again the dropping ball in midfield. This time won by Conal Casey. Joe Hayes prodding forward towards the box. But a turn in for English. English has profited by change of the half forwards in the second half. Sean O'Glone coming out. Lashing it down towards Toss Mulcahy, winning that ball there, duel with Bobby Ryan. On it goes to Buckley. Cork needing score here. Kevin Hennessy. Will he try and put it over the bar? Will he go for a goal? A hand pass to Mulcahy. It's a goal! Tomas Mulcahy shot Cork in front. A minute and a half into injury time. That comes back for dead. It was looking like Tipperary. And Tomas Mulcahy gaining as the pass came in from Kevin Hennessy. Great credit due to Hennessy, good composure and a good shot from Tomas Mulcahy. Pat Hart out there winning that duel. Cork still clinging on to this tie by a solid 3 points. And still there's time for more. Well, you can't blame the referee, there were a lot of switches, there was a big pile-up, there was the injury to English. Corcoran wins it, and the referee signals it's all over. And Cork are through to the first National Hurling League final for 12 years. Tomas Mulcahy did the damage in the end. Overall spirited second half by the two sides. Tipperary looked like they were up to take it. They were picking up their scores from some distance, but Tomas Mulcahy will be very much Cork hero tonight. Germanley, the other goal scorer. As Cork claim victory here by just a point. There it is. Cork 2-1. Tip 113. What a finish.
So Cork-Wexford final. New combination in final, and curiously, of course, you played them as recently as March in your own Cork equity.
Yes, why do you have to remind me of that? I mean, we came out 3 goals the wrong side of them. And,
perhaps because it's the moment maybe that whole season turned around for you.
Maybe it was, and but 3 goals is a big deficit to draw back, and 9 points, and they were holding very well and running very well. And I didn't see the game today because I was with our own lad side, but I certainly saw enough to know to put me on my toes, and the fact that their keeper have 2 of the most wonderful saves I think for an awful long time. Well, that's a short period of me seeing it.
How do you account for the Cork improvement in the last 2 months?
Oh, I don't know. I suppose they got it together. It took us a long time to go over the defeat by Kenny in the All-Ireland final, and when we go over that, it took me long to myself. Not because I'm a bad loser or anything, but you put a lot of work into it during the year, and I don't begrudge kicking their victory, but you get tired, emotionally drained, in fact, and you know. And I felt the same way, so they had a holiday in Morocco, a few weeks off myself, and they're back again. No?
Back indeed, back with bang. And that dramatic win means they will probably start favourite to take their first national hurling title since